It's a common misconception that drinking 8 glasses of water a day is enough for healthy hydration. But sweat consists of water and sodium, which means you need water plus electrolytes to stay properly hydrated. Thankfully, there are products like Element that have all your electrolyte needs covered. You can try Element Recharge Sample Pack by going to drinkelement.com/speak for only the cost of shipping.
Welcome to Speak for Yourself in this empty studio.
Calling you lucky.
Marcel Swati. Ooh. Popping today.
You is too. You is too.
Nah. You letting your hair grow, though. Something going on. Huh?
I am. Beard getting full, hair getting full. It's that summer vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Or you getting serious about somebody. Let's start this with the NBA Finals. I know how you trying to do it. Look ugly. Game 2 is tonight in Phoenix. Giannis scored 20 points in his return from a knee injury in Game 1 that I predicted would occur. So now his Bucks will try to tie up the series. Giannis has been in Milwaukee since day 1, and he was asked yesterday what it would mean to win a title with the team that drafted him. Take a listen.
It's a goal of mine, and obviously you see a lot of people have different routes. You can never judge anybody for the way he wins a championship, that he chooses to win a championship. But at the end of the day, doing it in the team that you started, I feel like it means more.
Toronto, I hear you over there. Ugo, does winning a title with a team you started with mean more?
It does, Sal. And, yesterday's show was so fun. Today's show is going to be so much fun. Every show with you, Marcel Swati. It's a great time.
Don't butter me up. I know where this is going.
It means more because there's more of a legacy play involved. It means you really got your hands dirty.
Oh.
I'm going to start with something hopefully we can all understand, or at one point in our lives we'll be able to all understand.
Okay.
I've bought and sold 4 houses. Bought and sold 4
Only
houses
4?
now.
American Dream.
No. Not like Marcellus.
No,
not MTV Crib houses.
American Dream.
Okay, not MTV Crib houses. I bought and sold for, quaint homes. Another word for saying small. And what I realized, Sellers, the very first house I bought, it was a new build. And the new build, it meant more to me than the house I bought from somebody else, because the new build, I got to see when they were laying the foundation. I got to see when they were putting in the water and the plumbing. I got to see when they were painting the walls. I got to go in and actually hand pick the counters. I got to hand pick the stoves and the appliances, as opposed to when I bought a house from somebody else. I was still hyped because I was a homeowner, nonetheless, but I was just buying somebody else's house. I just showed up in a house that they had already built. I walked in the door. I just signed a couple papers and said, okay, great, this is mine. Yes, both ways I was a homeowner, but building the home, the new build home, that meant more to me than just walking into somebody else's house. So to Giannis's point, you win a title with the team you started with. You win a title with another team that you didn't necessarily start with. Either way, you would have a title. You would be an NBA champion.
Yes.
But there's something different about being a part of something from the ground up, about laying a foundation from the very beginning. There's something more special and something more unique about seeing the process, not just the outcome. Because, Sel, big dog, I came on the show and Marcellus Wiley was almost said decent, a little sloppy around the edges.
Oh, that's what you want to do?
A little sloppy. You a little sloppy.
I was 5 pounds over playing weight.
No, you about 50 pounds. Now, when I showed up, Marcellus Wiley, he was holding down our billboard, if you will. He was holding it back. People would drive by down Pico and be like, oh, look at Speak for... But now look at Marcellus Wiley. Dude was on he wasn't on a Peloton. We ain't gonna give him no false promotion.
No, I wasn't no Peloton.
But my dog was on a bike. Every morning he was pedaling. He was counting his carbs. So I would like to believe that knowing that you worked day in, day out to lose all that weight probably meant more if you would have just gone somewhere and taken a quick fix pill. Gonna quick fix this or quick fix that, because you grinded for it. The process. Yes. The outcome may have been the same. You lost weight. But as I came to this studio every day and saw Marcellus as he went from this to this to this to this, and now look at him outshining me on a daily basis, I would have to assume it means more. So I fully understand what Giannis is saying. Winning a title with the team you started with means more because you were a part of the process from your day 1.
Okay. Oh, man. Let me just start off simply by saying no, it doesn't mean more before I start getting a little enthusiastic about this take because I'm about to get excited. All right, here we go. First thing first, how would Giannis know? His ass ain't won no title.
Stop.
I don't want to hear what it's going to mean when you ain't been there, bruh. So he is disqualified from this conversation as I am disqualified from this conversation as you are. So we're on the outside
We
looking
won some
at,
titles.
Boy, what did we win?
You won a title in
Oh, you talking about lower levels?
Yeah, you won some titles.
I mean, I was MVP Hall of Fame, lower levels, and we could gonna do that. So was Giannis, I'm sure, before he started selling watches. I bet he was the man wherever he was. Here's the thing. I ain't trying to hear nobody tell me what it's gonna be like if you ain't been there, bruh. So that's part one. But let's have fun. Let's have a barbershop conversation, shall we? How can you say it means more? Because you gave me the example of houses, right? And you said a new build.
Yeah.
That means you came in and you got to put some of the finishes on there, right? So the contractor came up to you along with the designer and said, Acho, what would you like for my portfolio, right? This is 60 cents a square foot. This is $1 a square foot, et cetera, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, Acho, there is one house that is just, hey, turnkey, let me buy it, let me get in there. There's another house like you, oh, we're almost done, but Acho, we need you to take us to the finish line. And then there's been a house that your boy has built before. When I am the contractor and designer, because you know what? I'm the final say on this thing.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me tell you, I've lived in all three types of houses. Home is where the heart is, and I am not more invested and have more better times, and I had nothing better from me going from 0 to 100 or me already starting at 100 on a helicopter. Let me tell you what happens when you got to do it from the ground up. It takes twice as long and twice as much, and it ain't worth it. It's better to just call the realtor. Oh, that's good. I'll take that. But I'm not even going to go with your example because that was for you. This is for me. Let's talk about all the greats that... let's just say, just called the realtor and said, hey, I want to go there and let me get that championship. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, drafted by Milwaukee, won one title. Then he was traded to the Lakers. Guess how many he won? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You think those 5 didn't mean as much? Didn't mean the same? Boy, stop. Shaquille O'Neal. Oh, drafted by Orlando.
Yes, sir.
Did he win one there? Hell no.
No, sir.
Came to L.A. I won my Lakers. I go back to back. He can't stop talking about them Lakers championships still. To the point, he won one in Miami. He don't even talk about that one. He be talking about them Lakers back. Me and Kobe, we respect. Okay, Tom Brady. Did Tom Brady just win? That wasn't New England. He just won a Super Bowl and it was in, oh, you trying to tell me that Tampa Bay doesn't mean the same to him as New England when he was in his second year, getting drugged by the defense and special teams to that same championship. I have more examples, but I'm going to save them for my next slap. The point is, Giannis, you're speaking out of turn because you ain't even got a ring. And trust me, when you get it, you're going to look at it the same no matter how you got it.
One, Giannis is qualified. So the dude is in the NBA Finals. He's 4 games away from winning a chip, and he's simply saying,
Jimmy G.
if I win the chip, it will mean more. Now,
What's Jimmy G?
let's get back to these houses. Everybody can't talk about pro sports, but a lot of you either own homes or are going to own a home one day, lived and grew up in a home that you own. Let's talk about these houses.
Let's do this.
So you've had a lot of cribs, had a lot of houses, but only one was on MTV Cribs. Only one.
Good timing.
Was on MTV Cribs.
That's when the show was airing.
One that I believe you helped build from the ground up. At least it had your touches.
Which one?
At the pool.
The men
it had that dude.
Oh, I added my name.
He had his touches, Sam.
I was single, super single.
Because the things that have your personal touches, their intricate touches and the details are the ones we pay the most attention to. Just like your house. You had a lot, but only one got that love.
And I sold it like it was no tomorrow. Get your ass off my books.
Let's talk about the greats, because there's so many great basketball players that have ever played the game. But I think about guys like Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, and I think about their legacy. Dirk's legacy may be even greater than his greatness. Why? Because Dirk played for the Mavericks the entirety of his whole career, and he brought a chip to the Mavericks. Tim Duncan's legacy, his greatness is just slept on.
I'm about to say, he don't need
His greatness is slept on. But think about Tim Duncan's legacy, even as it compares to Tony Parker's. Think about Tim Duncan's legacy, even as it compares to just about anybody else's. Because he was great, but also with the Spurs the entirety of his career. Think about the great Kobe Bryant. Kobe was great. Shaq was great too, but who's more beloved?
Hold on, who was beloved?
I didn't say better.
Overall, beloved.
Yeah, it's a show. We go deep on this show. Don't act like we super.
Who was better?
I didn't ask that question.
All right, wait a minute.
I didn't ask that question. Yes, because this is about is winning a title mean more? No, don't do this. Don't do this.
I'm not going to hijack this segment, but if you're trying to tell me that Kobe Bryant's going down higher in NBA folklore than Shaq, you're lying.
In Laker folklore.
Oh.
In Laker folklore, because we're talking about what means more.
Okay.
So the person who was there the whole time. So that's why when you talk about Giannis, since 2013-2014 season, only 2 Bucks players remain. Giannis and Chris Middleton. They've had 4 coaches, 2 owners.
That's not good.
2 stadiums, a whole bunch of players. But 2 remain, Giannis and Chris Middleton. And in 13 and 14, not only were the Bucks the worst team in the league, Giannis and Chris had the lowest 2K rating in the game.
What was that?
I think like 63 or something terrible.
Yeah.
But look at them now, Sel. They built it from the bottom up, built it from scratch. They didn't go with no microwave mentality. They didn't just go throw a lean cuisine in there and say, No, they got on the stove. They went to work. They shot for the ingredients. They started cooking, and they about to have a meal just like the next team. The difference is they really worked for theirs.
Oh, so you the one that, Mama, I'm waking up early. I'm cooking today. Meanwhile, I just go to Trader Joe's, get that orange chicken, throw it in the air fryer. 15 minutes later, I done outdone everybody in that damn house who's been up since crack of dawn. Man, stop giving me this process makes it better. Sometimes it does, but not all the time. I thought you were millennial, Gen Z, something. Don't y'all supposed to work smarter, not harder? What the hell y'all talking about? Only 2 players makes my point, and my point is this. In perception, it seems like you're fully invested when you're Giannis. You're fully invested when you're Chris Middleton. Only 2 players remain on this roster with our low 2K ratings. Only us 2, right? But in reality, you're a dependent. And you're dependent on the GM and team president. That's why only 2 of y'all remain. Because somebody else is calling the shots. Because if you were calling the shots, trust me as a player, I look at you. He hit me with this. Boy, in analyst world, that means he got me. All right, here we go. The reality is this. How come there are only 2? You want to know why? Because all the other moves are happening not by your doing. And that's the problem with this. This is a Hallmark card that organizations, that leagues have sold to players. Hey, if you stay here, you know, at the end, you probably got to take a couple discounts. But the loyalty, and more importantly, forget the loyalty, your legacy. Everyone's going to love you more if you just stay still. Man, shut up. This is what I would have told them, because if I were Deion Sanders, when I got drafted by Atlanta with 98 gold chains on, I look up, I ain't got no titles. So 98 chains, no rings. Guess what he does? Go to the 49ers. Oh, Deion's name and legacy and perception changed. Then he went with the Cowboys. Won. Oh, it kept going up. But you want him to stay in Atlanta, just wear the chains and no ring. Not me, Steve Young. Oh, everybody thought he was a 49er for life? No. Remember that? Tampa Bay, no titles. 49er street titles, including one as a starter. Get the monkey off his back. I could go to other sports. A-Rock, Reggie Jackson. Point being, dog, home is where the heart is. It ain't about what you built. It's about what you got.
So here's what you're turning a blind eye to, though, because I love those examples. I love the Deion example. Obviously, I grew up in Dallas, so I love Deion in Dallas, love Deion in San Fran.
Come on,
but what you're turning a blind eye to is we're not saying stay somewhere and don't win. We're saying staying somewhere and winning is greater than going somewhere and winning.
No.
It is because this. When we talk about LeBron James going to Miami, he made the decision, I believe it was 11 years ago today. LeBron going to Miami, he's like, yeah, he won a chip. And people talking like, yeah, he won a chip, but he had to go to Miami. Kevin Durant, he 2-time Finals MVP. Yeah, he won a Finals MVP, but he had to go to Golden State. If you win where you were drafted, there is no but.
Like Steph Curry?
There's just a yeah. Exactly like Steph Curry. Yeah. There's no, Steph Curry won, but.
Oh, yes,
no, it's just, Steph Curry won. Because in 2015, he won before Kevin Durant. So there's no but, sir.
No, you got to look at the other cheek. There's a but. Let me tell you this but. Who won the Finals MVPs? Not you, Steph, ever.
I didn't hear but.
But you weren't the best player on your team when you won the other 2 championships.
Don't do that.
But, hold on, okay? Let's rank them.
Please.
LeBron, KD, and Steph in legacy, in everything. Who's 1?
LeBron.
Who's 2?
Steph.
KD. Who's 3? Steph. We agree. Okay.
No,
Hey, man.
In legacy,
we are the same.
In legacy.
You think KD going down less than Steph Curry because he went to Steph Curry's place and sunned him?
Here's the game you have to play, and I've played this before, and I know this, and it's not even a game as much as a series. I'm going to ask Sel to join in. I'm going to ask you, the viewer, to join in. When you think of Jason Kidd playing, where do you think of?
Dallas Mavs, where you won the ring.
What about New Jersey Nets? When you think about Kevin Durant, what do you think of?
I think about everywhere.
Exactly.
He's amazing.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
When you think
everywhere I go, there I am.
No, you close your eyes, you think about Steph, Golden State. You close your eyes, you think about Giannis, Milwaukee. You close your eyes, you think about Kobe, LA. You close your eyes, you think about Shaq.
What about LeBron?
Lakers, Miami.
What about
he went to Boston. He went to Cleveland. Even LeBron.
What do you think about? Everything?
I think about Miami and I think about Cleveland.
You better stop that.
I do.
You think about the Lakers too, because Lakers bigger than both of them.
No, I don't think about the Lakers.
Well, you better, because he won a ring here too.
No, when you think about LeBron, you think about legacy. He was in Cleveland for God knows how many years. He was in Miami for 4, and he just showed up in LA.
Your examples make my points better. Because you just told me that KD, I think everything and everywhere. And then LeBron, who's the best player, if not Michael Jordan, everything everywhere. And Michael Jordan didn't even stay still. Michael Jordan swear when he went to Washington he was going to win a ring. Why in the hell else would you come out of retirement again if you don't think you're going to do something? He thought he was going to do something. He didn't. And then all of a sudden, we give him a mulligan or we forget about it because of his age or because he already had 6 in the bank. But the point is, don't act like he wasn't on that path seeking another ring. And if he would have won another ring in Washington,
it would not have meant the same. It would not have meant the same as Chicago.
Damn!
It would not.
Oh, Jordan.
But what would have meant more? What would have meant more? Jordan getting past the Bulls, Jordan getting past the bad boy Pistons, Jordan getting past Magic and the Lakers?
Yeah.
Tell me.
It would have meant Tampa Bay and what's happening with Tom Brady right now. Are you really trying to say that this 7th ring means less than the other 6? Are you really trying to do that? Because I would do the same for Michael Jordan.
At a minimum, the 7th ring means less than the 1st.
Why?
Because the first one, he was in New England, drafted to New England, 6th-round pick, beats out Drew Bledsoe, doesn't relent the job back to Drew Bledsoe, and then he wins the chip.
I don't know about that beat out stuff.
He did. Drew Bledsoe got hurt, and he kept the job.
He kept the job. He came back, Drew Bledsoe, but Drew Bledsoe was the first $100 million man. Why keep him?
Let's go back to The Last Dance. Because remember what Jordan said on the documentary. They couldn't get past the bad boy Pistons, 88. Couldn't get past the bad boy Pistons, 89. All of a sudden, 90 comes around. They finally get past the bad boy Pistons, and it was the fact that you beat the team on the team that you couldn't beat with the same team that you couldn't beat them with. It means more than Kevin Durant can't get past the Warriors. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, I'm just going to go join the Golden State Warriors.
The same Warriors, he was up 3-1.
Yeah, then
and he was playing with a dude that threw grenades at him every time. Shot clock 3-2. Shoot it. Okay, I bailed you out again, Russ. Come on, Russ. And then I finally go over there. You know what? Why I don't buy the KD punk move take? Because KD went there and was the biggest dog. You can't be a punk and then go there and son everybody else.
No, you can.
How?
Let's talk UFC. Anybody can go run a country, big dog. You can be the baddest man on the yard, go somewhere, get punked on another yard, or you can get punked on another yard and come back and be the baddest man on another yard. You know, go Olympics. You can be the fastest woman in America. Sha'Carri Richardson, fastest woman in America. Has she gone to these Olympics?
In high altitude.
There was a woman by the name of Shelly Ann Fraser-Price who was ready to punk her and everybody else in the field.
You gave me the if word, and I'm not going if. I'm giving you real. No one on Golden State will call it a punk move because, 1, they begged him to come, and 2, they realized he was better than them.
One person begged him. Draymond
but they all went to the Hamptons. They all showed up. So whatever you want to say, the private jet needed to fill up, and we had to bring our boys. Whatever it is. Only outsiders call that a punk move because not a single soul on the Warriors could even back up that was a punk move because nobody was better than KD. I digress. All I'm saying is, let us win a title. Oh, we ain't. You won an Emmy. Okay, so your next Emmy, if you better not go on another show and win an Emmy.
It wouldn't mean as much.
It wouldn't mean as much?
It wouldn't mean as much.
Because it wouldn't be with me.
It wouldn't
be with me. We got to the court. Coming up, Kyle Shanahan drops some truth bombs about trying to trade for Matthew Stafford. We'll tell you if Jimmy G deserves better. But first, Steven Jackson is back, and he joins us to help us answer if winning the title would make Devin Booker a superstar, I said. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Getting recommendations from your friends for that perfect diet might be a big waste of time. The real answer is already within you, your genes. What are the best foods based on your DNA? What foods have the nutrients that you need? How quickly do you metabolize caffeine and alcohol? Don't guess. Use the code Speak for Yourself for $20 off a Geno Palette DNA kit. Find out how to eat for your genes.
Time now for rewarding performance brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Now, our own Chris Haynes said prior to Devin Booker's rookie season, former Suns head coach Earl Watson asked him, "How good do you want to be?" And Booker responded, quote, "One of the greatest to ever play the game," close quote. Booker is in the playoffs for the first time in his 6 seasons, and he has joined elite company. Take a look at the superstars along with Booker, who have averaged at least 27 points, 6 rebounds per game in their first NBA postseason, including LeBron James back in 2006. Ooh, that's some names right there.
Yeah,
We'll be joined by a big name of our own. That's that dude, Stack, Steven Jackson. What it do? But, Sel, you up first, my brother. Would winning a title elevate Devin Booker to superstar status?
No, it would not. And I preface everything by saying I love me some Devin Booker. I love his game. He's a beast. He's a monster. He's all of that. He's a star. But he's not a superstar. One, you can't just talk your way into this conversation. So right now we're trying to go into a what-if situation, what-if scenario. What if he wins a championship? Will he be there? Well, like they say about Hall of Famers, if you got to question it, then you ain't. So simply, is he a superstar if he wins a championship? No, he wouldn't be. Because last time I checked, AD, perennial all-star, AD, champion, is not a superstar. Oh, because Marcellus Vernon Wiley, yeah, that's my government name, has a list, has a full screen of who are the true NBA superstars.
Okay, Sel.
And let's look at them right there. I see LeBron, I see Steph. Yeah, Steph Curry on the shot, boy. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Giannis, Kawhi, my dog, Russ Westbrook, don't hate, Kyrie Irving, and Damian Lillard. And after that, don't you come at me trying to get into my club and sit at my VIP table with the NBA superstars. I know a lot of y'all got star caliber. I know a couple of you guys have championships. But when you talk about an NBA superstar, it goes unquestioned. It doesn't just say, hey, I've been playing well in my first postseason and I got a championship like some other guys like AD. What do you think about me? Not enough. The proof is in the pudding, and ain't enough pudding right now for Devin Booker.
I'm not mad at you, my dog, Sel. Stack, I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Me
but
too,
I got a checklist, y'all. I got a checklist for what it takes to be a superstar. And Sel, every one of your superstars outside of one checked off everything on my checklist. So I think your superstar qualifications are good. And I think my checklist is as well.
Okay.
Stack, Sel, rock with me. First, you got to do something special on the court, and I mean extremely special. Like, drop 70 points in a basketball game, something only 6 players have ever done in the history of the NBA. Second, at least for a moment, you got to dethrone another superstar. Like knocking LeBron James out of the playoffs in the first round, something that's never been done before. Third, you need some hardware. Everybody on your list, had hardware, at least individually or collectively, except for one name. I'll mention that name.
I know that name.
Lastly, the final check mark stat. The final check mark Sel. You need a little bit of off-the-court drama or stardom. Maybe dating Kendall Jenner. Everybody on your list, Sel, had one of them off-the-court types of things. The only person on Marcellus Wiley's list, can we throw his full screen back up there?
Full screen?
Who doesn't yet have any hardware, individually, collectively, Dame Lillard. Everybody else on Marcellus' superstar list checks off all of my boxes. If Devin Booker wins a title, he would be a bona fide superstar, and I don't even think Marcellus can argue it, because now we almost just made the same point.
No, we didn't. Get him, Stacks.
Well, I have to say, if he wins the title, he will be a superstar, but he's not a superstar now.
Okay, that's fair.
At this moment, he's not a superstar. You have too many players that are real superstars that stood behind that name and showed up every day while being a superstar. Devin Booker, if he wins this championship, he will become a superstar. And you're right, Acho. He has a lot of stuff going on, that superstar qualities, 70 points, all the stuff off the court, and carrying his team right now. But you got to give a lot of the credit to Chris Paul. Because without Chris Paul, none of this was happening. So that's why I can't put him a superstar.
That's real.
Yeah. Hold on. Last year, without Chris Paul, I know DeAndre Ayton missed 25 games in the beginning, but they didn't even make the playoffs. He gets CP3. What if CP3 carries him? What if CP3 wins the MVP of the finals? My point is, you can't get carried by a 36-year-old who everyone cast away and said he ain't gonna never win a championship.
Kyrie Irving on your list.
You a superstar.
Kyrie Irving is on your list. And without LeBron James, there is no Kyrie Irving.
You better stop
Kyrie
that.
Irving.
Come on, Acho. Don't do that.
I'm not doing nothing. Stack, don't get me upset. Stack, don't get me upset right now, Stack.
This is why I know your list was flawed. Even though you ended up at a good point, it still was flawed in your categories.
How?
Your first category was do something special. That is vague as hell. That's so abstract. What is special to you ain't special to me. You always talk about the best player is not always the best scorer. So what you go out there and score 70? Amazing. Doesn't mean you had the best, most efficient game. Then you go hit it with, he had 3 categories. One is be special.
Add four.
And then say date somebody.
No, I didn't say date nobody.
Hell,
I said you got to have some off-the-court drama.
Ben Simmons dated her too, didn't he? He ain't no superstar.
Because he didn't check off none of the other checklists.
Well, the point is, why is it even a checklist issue? Why is it even an attribute? Let me just say this. This is really something. He is not a superstar, and he won't be after. Y'all got to respect that. Superstar is creme de la creme. It's it. Like the VIP table behind the DJ booth. Like, damn, how you get back there? That's where you go.
You got to at least have your own shoe.
Something. Ain't nobody got no Bookers
You
on.
don't need to have your own shoe.
You got to have some.
If you're dating Kendall Jenner.
Why?
Look, here what we going to do, Stack. Here what we going to do. Because this show, we are versatile and we going to talk other sports. Russell Wilson, let's put him up against the checklist. He did something special. Won a Super Bowl in his 2nd year in the league. Russell Wilson, at least for the moment, he dethroned another star. He won a Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. Russell Wilson had hardware. He has a trophy, Lombardi, and Russell Wilson, something off the court or off the field. Sierra. My goodies. My goodies.
He was a
okay,
superstar.
no, he was not a superstar beforehand.
He a superstar without her, though.
No, he was not.
What do you mean, no, he was not?
You
You ever been around Russell Wilson? Oh, it's superstar.
I've been around him beforehand. I've been around him beforehand, and I've been around him after. Beforehand, it was good, Russ. After, it was, Russ. No, Emmanuel. No, Russ, we came into the league together. No, Russ, no, okay, I'll tweet at you. Okay.
Are you kidding me? Hey, hold on, Stacks. He trying to tell me Dame ain't one, but Dame in the new Space Jam 2.
Upgraded.
Yeah, well, look, he upgraded her too. Don't go there. Okay, anyway, we're going to have that conversation.
Oh, no, yeah.
Hey, buddy, those are my goodies. We can all talk about some goodies around here. Here's the thing. Devin Booker is a superstar when he's at home because that's as close as he going to get to it. Like you said, Acho, when he cuddling up with Kendall, is it? Okay, that's when he's a superstar because he touching one right then. Other than that, he ain't even on her level, dog. What are you talking about in terms of status? Devin Booker's a beast. Look at these other dudes. These dudes are sitting there with multiple $200 million contracts, and this dude is just trying to climb the mountain.
Somebody has to tell me, besides duration and longevity, the difference between Devin Booker and Damian Lillard if Devin Booker wins a title. If Devin Booker wins, this whole conversation is contingent upon him winning a title.
No, I get that.
If Booker wins a title, he's elevated to or above Dame.
But what? Dame is the driver of anything that happens in Portland. That's not Devin Booker right now in this situation. CP3, game 6, Clippers. Now, game 1. If CP3 continues, which I don't know why he was stopped, because he's obviously recovered from his corona, then what we gonna say? We gonna say, oh, Devin Booker, you were the man, but CP3 did get you to the playoffs. But CP3 did actually get the MVP.
But here's my thing with your qualifications. You being the driving force of some team or of a team doesn't make you a superstar. Because the only reason I got 2 issues with his list, Stack. My issue is 1, Kyrie Irving. My issue is 2, Dame Lillard. My issue with Kyrie Irving is this. Kyrie was in Cleveland before LeBron James, and they were routinely the worst team in the East. And Kyrie was either the number 4 overall pick or the number 1 overall pick. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, number 1 overall pick. Tristan Thompson drafted in that same draft shortly thereafter. Kyrie.
Number 1 overall?
Now, Kyrie wasn't nobody. LeBron
don't do that. Don't do nobody. Okay, I'm gonna let you talk. But
in comparison to
you you got to be in a superstar talk if you arguably one of the most creative players, one of the most talented players to ever play the game. And Kyrie's in that category.
But Stack, before LeBron showed up is my point. We weren't talking about Kyrie because his team was losing.
That's team winning. We talking about you, individual.
But we weren't talking about Kyrie.
James Harden has never won anything. He's still a superstar.
He got an MVP.
Okay, and that's great. But look, here's the thing. I don't care who you take off my list. I just care who you're trying to put on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all right. If my list is inflated, if it's too many, take them off. But you ain't going to bring somebody on who doesn't qualify. That's how the game goes.
Here's what we're going to do. Because, Stack, this is what Marcellus told me. Marcellus told me if you walk into a club and you see some cats sitting at the bar, you see some cats sitting in the section, you just got to be better than the least one of them. That's it. In order for me to get in that section too, I just got to be greater than the least.
In a voting club.
The least of your superstars is Dame Lillard.
Okay, I can agree with that.
The least of
That's
your
why his name was last. Notice I said his name last.
If Devin Booker wins a title, he is now greater than Dame Lillard if he wins a title. Because Dame is looking like, okay, I've been in the playoffs a lot. I got a lot of first-round exits. I am the best player on my team. I've hit some huge shots, and I done wave by it PG. But Devin Booker's like, I done score 70. I've won a title. I'm also dating Kendall Jenner. And I brought the Suns to the chip for the first time since 1993. He would have trumped Dame. Stack, you got to agree with me, big dog, or I'm not coming on all the smoke.
Hey, Acho, you can't say he's a superstar when he's gotten better since Chris Paul been there. You said the same thing about Kyrie. You said he wasn't a superstar until LeBron got there. So you got to pick and choose, bro. You got to pick and choose.
Oh, he on that fence ripping his Levi's.
Okay.
He don't know which side to jump on.
I ain't no First off, I'm not wearing Levi's. Okay, I'm not wearing Levi's. That's the first thing we're not doing. We're not wearing Levi's. It's like wearing Wranglers. What I look like in Wranglers? I ain't no Brett Favre. He don't even like me. Here's the thing, Stat. Kyrie was missing one piece. He was missing one piece. He was missing winning. Kyrie was Uncle Drew prior to Bron. Kyrie had the best handles. That's the off the court. That's the off the court check.
That's Devin Booker.
That's the off the court check.
So far, you sound like Devin Booker.
Kyrie had handles before Bron, but Kyrie didn't win a chip, so he needed one final thing.
Though.
That's not everybody.
That is an everybody award.
Harden doesn't need a chip to win a superstar. Harden is already to be a superstar. Harden's an MVP. Kyrie missed winning. Winning made him a superstar. Devin Booker, winning is the final piece to make him a superstar.
Fact. This is why I know he was on that fence right there, ripping Wranglers, Levi's. Some of them jeans is just still stuck on them fence. Look, Devin Booker, damn, I hate when I got to do my job because it sounds like I'm hating on somebody when I'm comparing them.
Because you are.
He got 2 All-Stars. I respect that. Anthony Davis got 8. He ain't no superstar. Paul George got 7. He ain't no superstar. Kyle Lowry got 6. Jimmy Butler 5, Embiid 4, Kimba 4, Bradley Beal 3.
Where?
These dudes are way more all-star and closer to star.
You're proving my point. None of them cats had hardware except AD. But even AD, what's the off the court, big dog? What's the off the court? You're proving my point.
What you mean off the court?
Hey, you got to be a superstar. You got to be a superstar when you're on the court with LeBron and the ball in your hands in the last minute of a championship game.
I just know this. That's facts. Hey, Acho.
What?
You know Devin Booker only been to 2 All-Stars, and both of them were injury replacements. And you trying to tell me that's a superstar? I mean, I be on it all day. Hey, coming up, Josh Allen had it coming out last season. I made more promos than that. But we'll tell you if the Bills should have any concerns. It was a fluke. That's next.
But you were with Kendall.
What you said.
Kendall Jenner's at least 2
notches. You don't know who I was with. We didn't have cell phone cameras.
Does Edge have Universal Champion Roman Reigns on the run? Or will Reigns finally confront Edge, the Rated R superstar? It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, tomorrow night on Fox.
Let's head to Buffalo, my old stomping grounds, Orchard Park. Josh Allen is coming off an MVP caliber season and is now in line for a massive long-term deal. Sean McDermott said, quote, I firmly believe it's going to work itself out. Oh, really? NFL.com says the delay on a new deal could, quote, simply be a matter of finances or needing to know for certain that Allen's 2020 wasn't a fluke. Whoa, Acho. Should the Bills have any concerns Josh Allen's 2020 season was a fluke?
No. They won't. They shouldn't have concerns that it was a fluke, but it might appear to be a fluke after this year. Lamar Jackson's unanimous MVP season, it was not a fluke. Clearly, he is that talented. But if you look at him the year after, you might be like, was that a fluke? Only because his unanimous MVP season was so high that it's a tough act to follow.
Facts.
Josh Allen's season last year was so good, Sal. 4,900 total yards. 44 total touchdowns, 7 rushing, 39 or 37 passing, and the dude was that great. That's a tough act to follow now. I don't think Josh Allen's 2020 season was a fluke, but I think it will appear to be a fluke after we see how he plays this year. Because when you were that good, it's just hard to be that good again. Not necessarily my opinion, the stats back it up.
Okay.
What's never been repeated, ever, in the history of the NFL is averaging 300 total yards a game, having 40-plus total touchdowns and 10 fewer interceptions. We've only seen it happen 5 times. We got the full screen for it. 2007, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, 11, Peyton Manning, 13, Mahomes and Josh Allen last year. Only ever happened 5 times, and it's never been repeated. Obviously, 0 for 3 in 07, 11, and 13. So it's not that Josh Allen's greatness was a fluke, but in hindsight, it will appear to be a fluke because I think he will take a statistical dip this year.
Okay. Facts. What you just said is accurate right there. Here's the thing. You shouldn't have any concerns because the anomaly, the 2020 season that everyone's focusing in on, saying basically, how do you go and get better from that season? That's an anomaly, but you got to respect the isolated variable, which is this. It's been steady incline to create that anomaly.
That's good.
Now, anomaly when it's in a roller coaster, then you got to say, who are you? Baker Mayfield comes to mind because when you see, okay, first year here, second year down, third year there, who are you? When you look at Josh Allen, all you see is steady improvement. You see 5-6 record. You see 10-6 record. You see 13-3 record. You see first, which is going to be impossible to do again because it's a first. First time the Bills been in the playoffs and got a win since 95. First time they've been in the AFC Championship game since 1993. So, yeah, some things are going to be impossible to go out there and redo. But if you PR in life, post-PR is always going to be a disappointment. Think about it. When you ever go out there, PB, PR, whatever you want to call it,
Personal best, personal record.
Personal record. Next day, good luck. It ain't coming again. And that's okay because if you're Josh Allen, now you've shown everyone where you want to reside, in the heavens. Now just stay in that neighborhood and then let this team continue to improve. They're already the second best team in the AFC Championship game last year with improvement on roster. So I don't see any issue and I don't see any cause of concern because the guy's just been steadily climbing that mountain.
Okay, you bring up a great point, and I think you brought a point that leads me to what might be a huge issue if you're a Bills fan, why you should be concerned, at least a little bit. When you do PR early, have a personal record, when you reach your peak early, if you never get back to that point, you wonder, as do people around you, can you ever be that good again?
Okay.
We saw it with Lamar Jackson. Now, I don't know if Lamar has reached this PR, but statistically speaking, he probably did. 35 passing touchdowns leading the league, plus 1,200 rushing yards in that same season. Statistically speaking, it's going to be very hard for Lamar Jackson to do that again. So we're now going to sit here and wonder, dang, can he do it again? As Lamar's going to sit here and wonder, man, can I really do it again? I bring to y'all the MVPs from 2019 before. Lamar Jackson had 43 touchdowns his MVP season. The year after, he only had 33. So Patrick Mahomes had 52 touchdowns his MVP season. The year after, he only had 28. Matt Ryan had 38 touchdowns his 2016 MVP season. The year after, he only had 20. You now will wonder, as the athlete, man, can I do it again? We're going to pivot real quick. I'm not going to hijack it. I'm just going to pivot, make you think.
Make me think.
Track athletes, when they hit their personal records in college, which so many of them do, you go 9, 10, 5, 7 years having never hit that mark again. So now everybody's starting to look at you like, oh, that mark was just a fluke. She ain't coming close to that again. He ain't coming close to that again. I think that is the fear, if I'm a Bills fan, that Josh Allen, you threw for 5,000 yards. That is amazing.
Yeah.
But are you ever going to come close to that again? I'll end in anecdotal form. I didn't used to always gamble, Marcellus.
Yes, you did.
Not always. I didn't used to always gamble.
You
but
were 7.
I went to, no. When I was in Philly, I went to Harris with my dog, Earl Wolf. True story, America. And I used to play blackjack, but Earl's like, hey, big dog, you got to come play this game called Baccarat. I don't even know how to play Baccarat. You bet banker, you bet player, you flip over some cards. I can't.
Hell no, me either.
First time playing Baccarat, turned $300 into $4,000. I was on practice squad. For me, a boatload of money. My first time playing. After that, I'm like, yo, every time I'm going to Harris after practice, I'm playing Baccarat every day. I didn't win again for like 10 tries. Because that first time, a little bit of beginner's luck. Josh Allen's first time playing with Stephon Diggs, 4,900 yards, 44 total touchdowns. He gonna keep going again. And Bills fans are gonna be like, yo, he just turned $300 into $4,000. But will he ever see it again? I don't know.
Sound like Baccarat broke your back. Here we go. I love all that. Let me give a little room on that track example right here.
Please do.
Track is an independent sport.
Yes, sir.
We know that.
Yes, sir.
I don't give a damn. We on a relay. Hey, what you running your split? Football's interdependent. So therefore, I don't have to always go full throttle for us to have a better result as a collective, correct? So I've seen it before where a team, Patrick Mahomes had a worse year than he did in his MVP year this year. And guess what happened? They had a better record. They just got gunsmoked in the Super Bowl. But the point being, lead to that moment, you were looking like this might actually be a better version. And they actually set more records than they did even in his MVP year. All of that said, let me do this. I think you got a little fear in your projection of Josh Allen, in part because I think that you're the type that when things are going well, you're like, when is it going to go back to the law of averages? Me, I'm like, I'm not going to think about when it's not going to go well until it's not going well. I don't need to be ahead of it. I don't need to anticipate failure. So look, the projection of fears right now is probably why there's hesitation in paying Josh Allen. You ever see The Pursuit of Happiness?
Yes.
Yes, I knew. See, once I got unurbanfied, if that's a word, I knew you were going to see The Pursuit of Happiness. Remember Will Smith?
I love Will Smith.
Remember when he was talking to the little man playing basketball, and he was like, hey, you can't do that. And then he had to catch himself because he couldn't do that. But little man, like, let me try. Let me figure this out. Josh Allen, like, look, you got me here. You got me at a 5-6 record and my 52% completion percentage. Then I went to 58. Now you see me, I'm at 69. And the record gets better and better. My performances get better and better. Why do you have this fear-based projection that it must come to an end? Yeah, it may roller coaster, but look at the heavens in which I'm going up and down in. That's why you got to pay Josh Allen, because he already put himself in rare company.
If you're talking monetarily, yes. I'm not mad at paying Josh Allen. Okay. Should the Bills have concerns about paying Josh Allen? No. Should they have concerns about a Josh Allen regression? Yes. That's the difference.
Is regression to you literal? Hey, you threw 45, now you're going to throw 43.
Yeah, regression to me is literal.
It
is.
I mean,
like, it's a regression from...
Yes.
It has to be.
That's your accountant hat and suit coming out of you. Damn, that's too literal.
So what you are just saying is, can Josh Allen continue to hover around greatness?
Be great. Whatever great is defined is. Because one year, with Lamar Jackson, leads the league in passing touchdowns, 36. Next year, you ain't 36.
So
like
you don't
this.
think Lamar Jackson regressed?
I don't think he regressed. I think the pieces eroded around him, starting with Greg Roman, but pieces have eroded around him where are not highlighting, maximizing his skill set. That's what I think.
But doesn't regression have to be? If
he won the
regression
first playoff game last year.
But if regression isn't based upon a number, then it's now subjective. Yeah. Right now, it's just like, nah, he didn't regress because, I mean, he had more of this, but he had more.
Did you saying Bolt regressed his last few years when he never ran 9.58 again?
Still won?
But still won and still smoked. Like, Cass was running 9.9, getting beat by 4 yards, and he's like, look, I'm not running 9.58 ever again, but I'm still Usain Bolt. That's the thing. I always bring up this example, and I want to bring it up because maybe I have another layer to it. The guy who goes 0 sacks 1 year, next year 5, and next year 10. 0, 5, 10. Josh Allen. Yeah. Versus a guy who starts off 10, 5, 0. They kind of end in the same place. That's a 15-sack dude after 3 years. But we look at it completely different. So now here's a situation. I'm enter Baker Mayfield. 5, 0, 10. Which one would you rather be? To me, I'm taking 0, 5, 10. Just because at least the last time I checked, you were great. And the time before that, you improved on that. That sounds like, in a nutshell, what we're getting out of Josh Allen. And that's about $200 million in nutshells. Coming up, now the sponsor ring is the team that drafted him. Damn, you about to get paid. We'll tell you if all NBA titles are viewed the same. That's next on Speak For Yourself. About to speak for yourself, Marcel Swallow. I ain't playing, and Emmanuel Ocho, he ain't playing, so let's get back to the NBA. They still playing. And Giannis and the Bucks will try to even up the NBA Finals tonight on the road against the Suns. Everybody's got a little light under the sun. Ooh, the two-time MVP said yesterday that players all have different routes to get to a title, but for him, doing it with the team he started with in Milwaukee means more. Stacks is back, but Ocho, should all NBA titles be viewed the same?
No, sir. And I'm a strong no, and here is why, y'all. Because some NBA titles are harder to acquire than others. Now, I'm not going to take a championship away from anybody. You win a title, you win a title. Point blank, period. But let me remove this conversation so that I can remove your feelings, and then we will venture back to it. If you're an Olympian, you are an Olympian. Regardless of what country you hail from, you are an Olympian. But it is much, much, much harder to be a USA Olympian than it is to be an Olympian from, call it, Peru. It is much, much, much harder to represent America than it is to represent another country. If you win a gold medal, you win a gold medal. I'm not going to take anything away from you. But an individual gold medal, call it in the open 100 meters, is a little bit more esteemed than a relay medal, because in the individual medal, you did that by yourself. So when I talk about NBA titles since the turn of the century, I'm really thinking about 3 teams, or at least 3 individuals, if you will. I think about Dirk's title, the Mavericks, that upset the Miami Heat, that super team. That title to me means more, because Dirk, with a 37-year-old Jason Kidd and a 33-year-old Jason Terry, without a super team, dethroned a super team. I think about the Detroit Pistons, that second tier of the bad boys Pistons, if you will. Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, beating the Lakers with Kobe, Shaq, Gary Payton, and Malone, albeit he got injured. I think about Kobe winning in 09 and 10 when he had Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol was nice, but Pau Gasol wasn't some kind of perennial beast. Not all titles are created equal. Yes, they are a title by name, and they are a title nonetheless. Just like an Olympian is an Olympian by name, and a gold medalist is a gold medalist nonetheless. However, we all know they aren't the same, because the road getting there wasn't the same.
I kind of disagree, bro.
Get him.
A championship, like you said, a championship is a championship, but at the same time, you got to stop worrying about being loyal to these teams. Don't be a Tony Parker where you win 5 championships, and when they're done with you and feel like you can't do nothing, they're going to send you to Charlotte. You can't be loyal to these teams. Winning the championship, being the best in the NBA is all that matters. Being able to raise that trophy and have that ring, I don't care what team you on or what state you on, that ring going to look the same. Might have more diamonds in it. They might be yellow if you with the Lakers. They might be green with you with Milwaukee. But the ring going to look the same. Sometimes we loyal to a fault, and I hope Giannis don't be that guy.
Man, I love that take. There you go. Be loyal to yourself. Me, myself, and I. That's it. I ain't trying to hear all this. Stacks, you said it for me. And you look at the NBA championship, that ring, the Larry O'Brien trophy, all of them should be viewed the same. Let me just start off simply by saying this. I look at you winning the championship, I say the end justifies the means. No matter how you got there, you endured that course, you endured that process, whether all the other teams got hurt or they were missing their star. Well, that means we kept our star and we did get hurt. So that's a part of the game as well. So respect what we did. I look at it like this, Acho. You went to University of Texas.
Yes, sir.
You got multiple degrees as well.
Yes,
I went
sir.
to Columbia. I got 1 degree.
My dog.
Oh, throw it up, Stacks. But to me, a championship really is like a college degree. Nobody give a damn about your GPA. It's just about, did you get it or not? Simple as that. Because when you get in the real world, I dare you walk around tomorrow, I got 3.1. Nobody give a. Where you go to school, boy? Oh, okay. You graduated. Good. Get out my face. We know you have accomplished something. We know that you are a made man. Simple as that. Now, we can get into the weeds and talk about, well, Columbia ranked here, Texas ranked here, but he got 2 degrees and Stacks. Man, shut up. Did you graduate or not? You got a ring or not? That's how you shut people down, because I ain't got a ring, and they shut me down sometimes when I go out.
I like both of y'all's takes.
They be like, damn.
I like y'all's takes. I don't love them, but I like them. Here's why.
What?
Stat, you made a good point. Sale, you made a good point. Other people might view your rings all the same, but in your heart of hearts, you don't. Because, Stack, you right. Them diamonds for the Lakers, they might look yellow, and them diamonds for the Bucks, they might be green. But when you look at it, you know just how much did I contribute. Stack, I know you've been on a team with guys that have won chips. Now, I went to a national championship in college, won bowl games, but that don't mean nothing. But there was a bowl game my freshman year. We beat Ohio State, won the Fiesta Bowl. I'm looking at my bowl ring, and I'm like, I ran down on some kickoffs. But, I ain't really contribute. You know what I'm saying? It's cats in the locker room that's the 15th dude off the bench, and they I was on the squad. I helped them dudes practice. Shot, box out. It's some dudes on that, but it ain't really some dudes who really put in the time. So, to your point as well, Sal, everybody asks, well, did you graduate? Did you not graduate? That's true. But in your heart of hearts, you know your GPA. You know if you qualified or not for this job. I know I had a 3.43 in undergrad and a 3.75 as a master's. I know that. I'm not trying to brag. I hope that feels good to you.
I ain't tripping.
So I feel you though. I remember on the show, we had Steph Curry on the show, and Matt started talking about the championship, and I cut him off. I said, Matt, hold on, bro. You didn't contribute to that at all. But at the same time, with the joke, he still got that ring.
Yeah.
He still got the ring.
That's true. But here's the thing. The rings can come with a joke. And Giannis's stat, we said this in the block, I think, before you got here. Giannis's ring, if he ends up winning the chip with Milwaukee, there's no joke attached to it. There's no but attached to it. There's no you needed no help attached to it. KD's ring in the Golden State, it comes with a but you had to go join Golden State. LeBron's ring with the Heat, yeah, but you had to go join the Heat. Your dog Matt's ring with Golden State, I mean, you got you a ring, but I mean, you ain't really get you a ring. Still got the ring, just like a medalist is a medalist. But at the end of the day, there's a but attached to it, just like there is going to be one with some of the NBA titles.
Barkley wish he had that butt.
Thank you. Thank you. You wish you didn't have to go get that surgery to get that butt. Everybody want that butt. That's the butt I want. What the hell you talking about? How you get it? The end justifies the means. I ain't trying to hear y'all talk. Okay, Acho, listen to this.
Talk to me.
Every single title that Magic and Larry Bird won in those 80s, remember, you weren't here yet, came with Hall of Famers that weren't even drafted by the Lakers or the Celtics. Let's talk about it. All of Magic's titles came with help from Hall of Famers like Kareem. That wasn't no original Laker. Jamal Wilkes. That wasn't no original Laker. Bob McAdoo. What about Bird? That got Parrish. No original Celtic. Dennis Johnson. DJ. Remember with the freckles? That ain't no original Celtic. Tiny Archibald. Mama really named him Tiny? That ain't no original Celtic. And Bill Walton walking around here joking everybody out with that bad back. Hilarious. I love that dude. Point being, man, from the outside looking in, it can look a lot different than from the inside looking out. And I just want to tell you how rare it is to win a championship. One, you're looking at a living example of a guy who played 10 years in the NFL, 3 times the average, league average, and then sniff a ring. Trust me, there have been 1,750 different individual team seasons. Every team trying to get a ring. Every single year added up in NBA history. 74 titles have been given by 19 different franchises. 4.2%. Let me tell y'all, everybody and their mama trying to get this thing. I dare you, once I get it, you trying to tell me now it doesn't mean the same, it doesn't look the same, because it's too damn hard to even get there in the first place.
The worst feeling to have is knowing you dedicated your life and all your time to the sport. And Marcellus is kind of saying it and not being able to say you was the best at your sport for 1 year. So if you have that opportunity to do that, don't worry about being loyal to a team. Go get that, because that's going to mean a lot to you, knowing how much you gave to the game.
I hear y'all.
Hey, Stacks, won't you just flex a little bit, because you were a champion. You sounded a little bit like us. We on the outside, literally, in this screen as well. We on the outside looking in at a champion, man. Has anyone ever tried to rob you of your experience because you weren't Tim Duncan when you won that championship?
Nah, they can't, because, you know, I was a second to last pick in the draft, and I ended up being the starter on the championship team, the third leading scorer, so they couldn't take it from me. I earned it. And but at the same time, Steve Kerr didn't play that much, but he earned it because he kept me focused. Steve Smith, he mentored me that year, so he earned it because, you know, he kept talking about how to be a professional and kept me focused in the plan, so I was able to be the third leading scorer. So everybody on that team mattered to win that championship, and I don't think nobody can take anything from anybody, because, like I said, once you on that stage holding that trophy up, once you get that ring, you are a champion. You was a part of greatness.
Man, I love to hear that right there. That's right. In his heart of hearts, Acho, you know what he's thinking? I'm still a champion. And you know what he's thinking about you? You a champion. That's right. Because look at this, man. Lakers and Celtics.
You put words in his mouth.
Oh,
you put fighting words in his mouth.
You
said it's Stack. I'm thinking about me like a chump in his heart of hearts. Now I'm mad at Stack. Stack, I just got hot and true.
I ain't say that, Acho.
I just got hot and true. And I'm sitting here thinking like, wait, but Stack didn't even say that. Marcellus just said that.
The eyes in the window to the soul, and I was looking at his eyes, and I thought he said champion. Shut up. You know what's crazy about the NBA, though? 46% of all rings have been given to the Lakers and the Celtics. So you're damn near just doomed from birth if you ain't drafted or traded to one of those two teams, because it's hell to pay if you're not on those squads. Coming up, LeBron won it all last year. Yeah, his friend Chris Paul is trying to do the same thing this year. We'll tell you whose title will be more impressive. That's next. Don't speak for yourself.
Why are you talking trash on behalf of Stack?
He might.
NBA Finals appearance with a game-high 32 points. After the Suns win, LeBron showed support for his friend, tweeting, quote, "1 down, 3 to go," close quote. LeBron won a title with the Lakers at 35 years old last season in the bubble, and CP3 was turning Father Time away at 36 years old. Stack is back with us.
Yeah.
Basel, what title is more impressive, assuming the Suns can win? Is it going to be CP3's Suns or LeBron's Lakers?
I think it'd be CP3's Suns. I think if they played each other, like in just a hypothetical game, I think that the Suns would beat the Lakers. Why? Because there's some metrics that support that as well. When the Lakers won their championship, there were some numbers out there that said of all the champions in the last 2 decades, the Lakers had the most in terms of points per game allowed by their opponents, highest opponent field goal percentage, and the highest opponent three-point percentage. That means they were letting teams get buckets on them while they were still going out there and winning their championship with the 5-month in the bubble ring. So, look, respect to them because we just went through that. But they also were 21st in three-point percentage, 28th in free throw percentage. That's not what we see when we see the Suns. The Suns beat the Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers on the way to where they are right now with average wins of 45. Lakers beat the Blazers, Rockets, Nuggets, and Heat with average wins of 42. So just in the hypothetical, with the numbers matching each other, and if they were to play each other by strength of competition, looks like the Suns had a tougher road and did better in that same tougher road. Plus, they're being led by Chris Paul at 36 years young, who was left for dead in Houston. Y'all remember that? Went to OKC, balled out, MVP caliber year, but people didn't really give him that much love because they didn't go too deep in the playoffs. Now look at him. Chris Paul about to win Finals MVP, potentially the title, obviously, as well, and then go opt out a $44 million contract to get even more money after being left for dead. So, yeah, I think it's CP3 and them Suns.
That sounded good, but no, it's the Lakers. And, Stack, I'm going to take you back. Sel, I'm going to take you back. This hasn't happened for me for a while, but you remember when you used to run pickup and you win pickup on the court, you stay on the court. Whoever loses, y'all run them off the court. Next team up. When the next team shows up, the next team shows up fresh. So the team that shows up fresh, I would hope they can beat the team that just finished running the game beforehand because they fresh. The Phoenix Suns showed up fresh, y'all. The Phoenix Suns had 59 more days off than the Lakers this year. The Suns had 44 more days off in the offseason than the Nuggets this year. The Suns had 33 more days off than the Clippers this year. Why? Because the Suns played in the bubble 8-0, but they were still out of there because of how sorry they were the year before. The Lakers title is more impressive because the Suns title is facing a Lakers team that didn't have Anthony Davis, a Nuggets team that didn't have Jamal Murray, a Clippers team that didn't have Kawhi Leonard, first team All-NBA the year before, and the dude in Jamal Murray, who's the second player since Michael Jordan to have back-to-back 40-point games in a series. The Suns just kind of waltzed into the NBA Finals. Meanwhile, the Lakers, you playing ball. Wait, gotta stop. Can't play ball. Global pandemic. Middle of a global pandemic. Want to keep playing ball. Wait, gotta stop. People getting killed in these streets, and now the basketball players don't even want to play anymore. But LeBron is like, okay, y'all want to keep playing. I guess I'm going to keep playing and just keep playing better than everybody else. The Suns title would be impressive because Chris Paul at 36 years of age leading them is nice. But the Lakers title is far more impressive because of what they had to overcome to get there.
I'm with you, Acho. The Lakers was definitely more impressive. I think just people just want to see Chris Paul win one because he's gave so much to the game, and he's one of the best point guards to play the game, one of the hardest playing players to ever play the game. So people just want him to win a championship. But more impressive by far, the Lakers. So LeBron even go to the Lakers and bring a championship to them, that meant a lot. So I got to go with the Lakers. I can't really go against Acho with this one. It has to be the Lakers because LeBron went through a lot, and to go to the Lakers organization with all the pressure that was on him and to bring a championship back, even with having AD, LeBron still led that team. So Lakers by far to me.
Oh, man, let's argue. Let's just do what we do. LeBron didn't lead Jack the first year. Then he went and got AD, and then they were going. And then AD was starting to have that check engine light on like he does every single year. And then what happened? The good universe saved the day and said 5 months off, brother, because we know you can't finish.
Hold on, Marcelo. What do you at?
What do you at?
Check engine light.
That check engine light. You know what it is. Beep, beep. And then they get quiet. It's okay when it's beeping to make a noise. When it get quiet, it mean like, hey, dog, I ain't even got enough juice to make noise. About to conk out on your ass. So here go AD, like, oh, damn. Pandemic, yes, 5 months off. Look, me and you, hey, Stack, we run track around here. Did you grow up running track, Stack? You know about track and field,
yeah.
No respect. Okay.
1 year. 1 year.
1 year? Yeah, that's me in basketball. 1 year. 1 year. So, look, hey, you run that 400, your hamstring starts saying stuff to you in languages you never heard.
Starts speaking tongues.
It'd be like, yeah, that last straightaway. That thing is hell to pay. That's the same straightaway they won 100 on, which is easy. So the straightaway ain't the problem. It's the fact that you had to run them 300 before. And then this dude get 5 months off, and then they come back for 6 weeks. And then he's like, oh man, this ain't nothing because I'm AD. I'm healthy again. They took the check engine light off. And then he finishes the race. And everybody like, hip, hip, hooray. Imagine if they had to endure that entire race. But that's a hypothetical. All I'm saying is right now, this Phoenix Suns, second best record in the Wild Wild West this year. And it was wild this year. On top of that, they beat the most teams above 500. So they beat really good teams. They didn't just go out there and say, hey, we're going to cakewalk and we're going to bottom feed. Look, it's a hypothetical style. It's a hypothetical style matchup. But I just think Phoenix running the entire race versus the Lakers got a 5-month break and then got to go to a resort and team build in a bubble. And what the hell is that? That ain't nothing. So that's not the same race that they had to endure.
Here's my thing, though, fellas. It's not a coincidence that a team in the Hawks, which didn't even go to the bubble last year, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not a coincidence that the team in the Suns, which played 8 games in the bubble last year, made it to the Western Conference Finals. It's not a coincidence that the Celtics and the Heat were 6 and 7 seeds. It's not a coincidence that the Nuggets and the Lakers, who were in the Western Conference Finals last year, were a 4 and a 7 seed. Stack, for the first time in the history of the NBA, we saw 4 teams that were in the conference finals return and have an average of a 6 seed. 4 teams, when they usually return, have the average of a 3 seed, and they all came back much sorrier than they were the year before. Sel, I would be able to agree with you if the Suns didn't catch breaks. Several breaks. It's much easier to beat a team that had to play 2 months longer than you. It's much easier to beat the next team that had to play 1.5 months longer than you. And it's much easier to beat the last team in the Clippers that had to play a month longer than you. These Suns were the most rested. These Suns were the healthiest. Yes, they would win, and you got to give them their credit if they do win, but it's not the same, Sel. It ain't the same.
I mean, we played the West Conference Finals, and Dirk was hurt on our way to the championship. So it was a lot easier without Dirk. I got to give you that. Not having him in the lineup. Yeah. Just truth is truth, bro. Truth is truth.
No, I give you all that. But see, Acho over here, king of omission. Look, the Atlanta Hawks, you act like they were great in the beginning of this year. They were roller coastering, and then they got a coaching change, and then they hit their stride. So that matters. And then you bring up the Phoenix Suns, but you don't bring up DeAndre Ayton missed 25 games because of suspension in the beginning of the season, and then they started to hit their stride, but it was just too late, even though they went 8-0 in the bubble. So I don't want to use those examples. I don't want to play the coincidence card. I don't want you to go out there and say, well, this has happened this year, so that means that's what it is. No. The Phoenix Suns play more games this year continuously than the Lakers did last year. And what's been the Lakers' Achilles heel? LeBron's age and AD's health. Guess what will undermine that? Actually having to play all the way through and not getting a 5-month break. They got the red shirt and gray shirt in the same season and still come back and win a championship. That's what happened with the Lakers. So to me, I ain't got no respect for it. Acho, you want to get back on this?
I got to, because here's the thing. Stack, I got to watch you. I got my eye on Stack because, Sel, last block, you said Stack called me a champion.
He did.
A chump. He said he called me a champion. Now, Stack tried to deny it, and I almost believed him because, I rock with my dog Stack. But Stack know he got to see me next week. I'm coming on the show and whatnot. So during commercial break, I'm looking like, hey, what's Stack doing? What's Stack over there doing?
Man,
and Stack in there trying to make sure he getting right because he know he going to have to see me calling me a champion. So Stack during commercial break, look at this, out here trying to get a couple stats, a couple reps. He's like, look, I got to see Acho.
You got to see Acho.
And I did just call him a champion. And Acho is fitting that suit out, so you know what I'm saying? I just got to make sure I can back up these words. Stack, you ain't slick, big dog. You ain't slick. I got my eyes on you, fam.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Acho. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
No. All right. While we in this closet, good for you doing your laundry. Look at that cleaners and all them cleaner bags up there. Health hazard, though. Get them wire hangers out. You got all the shoes. Like, is there an order to this? What's going on?
Wait, why you got a bench press rack in your closet, Stack? You played for like 15 years, and you got all this bread, and you got your weight room in your closet?
A Nordic track by the damn sweats.
Hey, I'm taking advantage of the space. I'm taking advantage of all the space I got. I got a punching bag right outside, too, right next to the pool table.
I ain't mad at that. In my pool house, I got a weight room, too, damn it. Game room, everything. That's right. Real money, Acho. You don't know about that.
I don't, not yet. Beverly Hills adjacent.
Adjacent. All right, staying with the NBA. and stacks in the dressing room. I don't know what the hell. Game 2 of the finals is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. You funny. Scan the QR code below. Download the app, answer 6 questions about tonight's game for your shot to win $1,000. Coming up, Kyle Shanahan did not hold back on wanting to trade for Matthew Stafford. No, he didn't. We'll tell you if Jimmy G deserves better from his coach. Girl, that's next on Speak for Yourself. Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy GQ is the 49ers starter right now, but it could have looked a lot different. Matthew Stafford was traded to the Rams this offseason, and Kyle Shanahan did not hold back during a joint interview with Sean McVay that he thought of Stafford in the Niners uniform. Listen to this.
What did you think when you saw that we traded for Stafford?
You don't want to get me started, dude. That was frustrating. I was in Cabo. I was watching it all. I remember looking through it because everyone was telling me it was a possibility. And Stafford's the man. I studied him hard coming out of college, and you always just play against him, so you know how good he is. But to know he might be available and to spend 2 weeks really watching him, Sean, yeah, he's better than I had realized. I mean, he was the man, and he's actually underrated to me.
Macho, because Jimmy GQ deserved better from Kyle Shanahan.
Absolutely, big dog. I mean, your coach can't be out here drooling over another man, like out here slobber on his shirt. Let me get that. Yeah, he deserves better. So it's one thing, again, if you married to somebody else and you going out on other dates, unbeknownst to your significant other, like Kyle Shanahan out here going out at other dates. Trey Lance, oh my God, you look so good. You know, Trey, what's up? It's a whole nother thing if you're married, going out on other dates with another individual and posting Woman Crush Wednesdays about a whole nother individual.
Wow.
That's what Kyle Shanahan did. Matthew Stafford, WCW. Like, calm down. You got a whole nother quarterback in Jimmy G who's been nothing but good to you. Jimmy G absolutely deserves better because everything Kyle Shanahan has done to Jimmy G has been intentional, right? Okay, I'm going to say that we're not necessarily going to draft his replacement, but I know I'm going to draft his replacement. I'm going to sit here and pay all these excessive compliments to Matthew Stafford, another quarterback. But the only negative thing that Jimmy G's ever done to Kyle Shanahan has been unintentional. He got hurt. I didn't intend on getting hurt. I didn't want to get hurt, but I've never had a malicious action toward you where Kyle Shanahan has had several malicious actions towards Jimmy G. Jimmy G deserves better because you're 22-8 as a starter with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan without Jimmy G, you're 7-27 as a head coach in San Fran. And what you got to give to Jimmy G, nothing but just loving somebody else.
All this syrup you pouring out here, boy. Ain't no pancakes out here either. So no, I don't give a damn. As much as I love me some Jimmy GQ, you don't owe that dude anything because the NFL stands for what?
Not for long.
Not for long. It don't stand for not for like, not for love. It stands for not for long. So if I like you, it ain't gonna be long. If I love you, it ain't gonna be long because it's not unconditional. Yeah, he going out there. I don't know what he doing with Trey Lance. They engaged? One of my 4 engagements. I don't know what he got going. But we always talk about the dual scoreboards. But I don't highlight enough to you the time that I walked into the Chargers facility and I was just trying to feel my way out. Actually, I was lost looking for the general manager's office, and I saw the 2 war rooms. Everyone knows about one war room. It's for all the prospects that are coming from college and where should we draft them? And it's all deluxe, and we've seen it on video and YouTube, and quarterbacks and oh, look at this right here. We got Trevor Lawrence, and then we got running backs, and we got all the linemen, all that. And that's cool. You know why? Because no one really feels the pain. If you're in that room, you're either a part of the organization or maybe you're just the active player, like, man, them little dudes ain't gonna do nothing to me. But see, you're the type of person that lives by out of sight, out of mind. I don't. Because I know if it's out of sight, sooner or later it's gonna come in my vision, I'm gonna have to deal with it. So I'm thinking about things out of sight, out of mind. When I walked in that second war room, oh, that wasn't about them dudes in college. It was about the dudes like me. And they had active defensive ends like me. And guys are like, look, if Marcel start tripping, because I don't love him, I don't like him, not for long, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this acquisition. That's why these trades happen like that. Kyle Shanahan was out there in Cabo. They were telling him over dinner, go to bed, hang out, and call him in the morning. Then they said, you better call him in the next 10 minutes or else. Because somebody went in that second war room and was like, doc, 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 because it's not for long. So in a world of football where you eat what you kill, not you eat what you impress, you don't eat what somebody likes, you got to understand this dog-eat-dog world. And I'm sorry, bro. You better be a bigger dog or you're going to get ate. We're joined now by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. So, Greg, does Jimmy G deserve better from Kyle Shanahan?
Shoot, you just said it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the reason why is, Acho, I get it. Yes, what you're saying about the wins and the losses and all of that. Yes, he has been great for this organization, but he's not an MVP of the National Football League. He hasn't even been a Pro Bowl player selection. He hasn't won a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback in this league for any organization or franchise, specifically being the 49ers, as we're talking about them. So, yeah, just like every other position needs to try to be focused on being improved every single season, every moment. That's the job of scouts and head coaches. There's no difference. When you haven't been able to live up to standard, and you haven't produced what the goal is that we were after and we're always going to be chasing after, I'm going to constantly be looking to improve in every position, specifically Jimmy Garoppolo at the quarterback position. And have we not been paying attention all offseason when over 1,500 miles away in Wisconsin, there's a quarterback that did win MVP. There's a quarterback that has a Super Bowl ring for an organization called the Green Bay Packers that hasn't come to common ground, hasn't come to terms, and is disgruntled, and there's tension there. So if it can happen to Aaron Rodgers and be currently still happening, why am I going to feel sorry for Jimmy Garoppolo?
I got the why, G. I got the why, Sel, and it just dawned on me as you were talking.
Let's hear it.
It would be one thing if Kyle Shanahan was salivating over Tom Brady. It'd be another thing if he was salivating over Patrick Mahomes, maybe even Justin Herbert, obviously Aaron Rodgers, somebody who is clearly clear-cut better than me. But you can't be lusting over another individual who I'm looking at like, wait, but I got just as much to offer. Wow. Gee, you know this. You're a married man. Sal, you know this. You're a married man. It's one thing if it's like, wait a second, they don't even look like me, right? They short, they're tall. They're tall, you're short. Whatever the case may be. But if you looking and your significant other, your girlfriend at the time, one of your 5 fiancés, Marcellus, if you're looking and it's like, wait a second, they look like me. They got the same job I do. I'm actually more accomplished. I've actually gone further in life. I actually am more committed, more faithful, and just as good. Now I would start to feel some type of way. So, G, if I'm Jimmy G, I'm looking around like, okay, Matthew Stafford has never won a playoff game. He's 0-3 in the playoffs. I went to the playoffs and I was 3-0 as a starter en route to going to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, what has he done? He's thrown for a lot of yards. Congratulations. Anybody can throw for a lot of yards if you lead the league in passing attempts. But I actually am efficient with my yardage. What has Matthew Stafford done that I haven't? Who is Matthew Stafford that I am not? So that's why I'm like Kyle Shanahan. How dare you talk about Stafford like this when you got a quarterback who's looking at Stafford like he ain't no better than me? I'll flip it on his head. Imagine, G, if Jimmy G was like, man, Sean McVay is just such a great coach. Imagine just what he does for quarterbacks and how he allows his quarterbacks to play the game at such a high level. I just am so enthralled with Sean McVay's brilliant mind. He's just the greatest. Kyle Shanahan would be looking like, I went to a Super Bowl like he went to a Super Bowl. We got to flip it on his head so we can really answer the question.
Ooh. You saying flip it on his head, but you didn't flip it all the way on his head because if you're really looking at the relationship, Matthew Stafford can say, yeah, you can compare yourself to me, but can you really compare yourself to my situation that I'm in or that I was in Detroit? The surrounding personnel pieces, the organization as a whole, the general. I'm from Michigan. I know what the Detroit Lions are all about, and it's not much, and it hasn't been much. So Matthew Stafford is looking like, yeah, that's fine. You can compare yourself to me, but if I were in a better relationship, if I were in a better situation, I possibly would have all those things. So I get it. And I'm going to tell you this and give you this little heads up. Man, stay off that Woman Crush Wednesdays. I see what you're doing on your social media. Hey, man, go ahead and get him, Marcellus.
Hell yeah. Hey, I got got too many homies. I be like, damn, your wife ain't tripping. You be just double tapping the whole damn gram. Like, it's funny out there.
You know they show what picture you like.
I know, yeah. Like, bye. I always be looking like, damn, him too? Like, he be everywhere, but I be there too. So I get it. I just don't tap. I know how to get by it. I be hoping my scroll ain't too heavy either. It might double tap on accident. Be like, damn it, she caught me. Okay, here we go. Acho.
What else, sir?
Let's stay in your relationship example.
Please do.
You can't tell me what my fine is. Now, this is what you're going to learn as you get older. You get these man bones because we all got different types and flavors and likes and loves. And it's funny. You ever heard the expression, man, if we ever go to the club, we ain't gonna never fight because we like two different things, right? Okay, so most of my friends, I'm talking in generalization, so if you get into your feelings, you better turn this camera off and turn this TV off. Most people like track. Like when I go to track meeting, first thing my boys, the super single dudes, always say, man, these girls are beautiful. I was like, all right, you like track types. Okay, volleyball. Oh, man, these girls are tall, 6'8", walking around here. You like those types. Me? I'm a softball fan. That's right. I like people that got different body types. Now, you can't come up here telling me what I like. Because if I married a softball player, damn it, Anna Marie too tall. But if I did, you can't sit here and say, oh, what you doing? Jimmy G can't look at Matthew Stafford and start saying, you don't know what fine is because I'm as fine as him. Now, in looks, he is because Matthew Stafford does look like a beer body. Not even a beer belly, just a whole beer body, just a layer all around. But that dude got a layer all around. Like, where you gonna work out, Matthew Stafford? You in L.A. now. Don't be looking like that out here, boy. Here's the thing. The respect in life comes from what you demand, not what you ask for. And Acho up in here sounding like Jimmy G need to be in his feelings talking about, I'm going to ask you, can you throw some of that love my way? You got to demand it, big dog, because I've been on the good side and the bad side of a coach and organization. And when they loving you, you ain't even got to ask for the love. Hey, Marcellus, how's it going? Hey, you good today, huh? Every time they say the team needs a win, they looking dead at your face. Hey, Marcellus, we got this today. Right. And then when you sorry, they be like, hey, man, excuse me, come here. Hey, Stroud, Fred Taylor, come here. You be like, damn, I'm right here. Point being, Jimmy G, make them look at you. Make them love you. You got to demand it, though. You can't ask for it. Coming up, softball players holla. There are two big stars in Dallas, but we'll tell you if Luka or Dak will have a better career. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Don't double think. Good call.
July 6th will now officially be called Luka Doncic Day in Dallas County for his contributions on and off the court. The Maverick superstar was named first-team All-NBA for the second year in a row this season, but his neighbor over in the NFL, Dak Prescott, is expected back this season, and the Cowboys have never had a losing record when he's been healthy. So, Sal, let's go back to a place in which you played, but a place in which I was born, Dallas.
D-Town.
Who's going to have a better Dallas career? Is it going to be Dak or Luka?
It's going to be Luka. Let's just start here in what sport he's playing. Basketball, which is a better sport to play than football. Take it from the football player. In terms of what comes from it, in terms of inflation, in terms of how things get exaggerated, not just monetary compensation is greater in basketball, not just in the fact that recognition and awareness and Q rating is always going to be higher for the same guy in both sports if he played basketball. Everything gets inflated in basketball. So let's start there. Now, inflate this. Dak, have you ever been all-pro first team at quarterback? No? Well, why is Luka all-NBA? Two-time? Two-time All-Star, two-time All-NBA, just turned 22 years old. He's younger than you, Dak, as well. He's in some elite company in terms of what everything Luka's doing. But just talk about game. Dak has a strong game. I think Dak has the type of game that people are going to sleep on because it's going to be so consistently excellent. But you can't sleep on Luka's game because he's going to be so excellent that he's going to continue to evolve what excellent looks like. He's not basing his game on athleticism. It's all between the ears. It's all calculus and chemistry on the court. I just think Luka's a better player. He's a better basketball player than Dak is a football player. So, and you're playing a better sport? No way that Dak can win.
Yeah, Luka's going to have a better career for several reasons. One, for Luka to improve a team, Luka just has to improve the other 80%, if you will, of the team. Luka won 5 basketball players on the court, you one of the 5, you 20%. Yeah. 11 football players on the field, you one of 11, you roughly 8-point-something%. So Luka can impact the game more than Dak can impact the game on a nightly basis. The other thing is, Luka's much more likely to bring the Mavericks a chip than Dak is to bring the Cowboys a chip. And that's where it starts and where it stops. And so you got to be real, Sal.
I know.
Dak has had all these attempts to bring him. He's had 6.
These attempts?
5 attempts. 5 attempts.
John Elway took 15. What do you mean?
Dak's had 5 attempts to bring him a chip, and he's gotten him to the playoffs 2 out of 5 years. He got hurt, obviously, this past year. Luka's gotten him to the playoffs 2 out of the 3 years. At least he's batting
and losing to the Clippers every single time.
The other thing, though, is who's the greatest Maverick? Dirk Nowitzki. He won 1 chip. Greatest Cowboys, several of them, but recent history, let's just go. Greatest Cowboy quarterback, several of them. You could argue Staubach, Troy Aikman, etc. When you think about recent, Troy Aikman, he got 3 chips. Dak, you'd have to get 4 to exceed Troy. Luka, you just got to get to 2. Dirk got a statue in front of American Airlines Center. Luka, you just got to get to 2 to outdo the greatest Maverick. Dak, you got to get to 4 to outdo Troy. So when I look at it, Luka has a much shorter road and a shorter hill to climb than Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that's a great point in terms of how can you have a greater career all around if you're not even respected within your own borders, in your own home as the greatest to do it. Yeah, it's a tough climb. However, we didn't factor in the star and how that does something in terms of what your legacy looks like. I saw some article where every single former Cowboys player, including myself, is on television talking some damn sports. Like, it's just littered with post-career success. Now, I don't know about Luka when he goes back to Slovenia. Was he up to? Maybe he won't be up to anything. He'll have $900 million in just base salary alone. But Dak is doing damn well for himself. Dak Prescott, second highest paid player in NFL history. I say it again, in NFL history. Not even top 5 quarterback right now currently, let alone in history, you're number 2. So there's some way you can cook the books and work the magic when you have that star on your helmet, because Jerry Jones certainly knows how.
But I think we could very simply compare Tony Romo, Dirk Nowitzki, who had the better career in Dallas. And I don't even think it's an argument.
No,
Tony Romo had a very good career.
Yeah.
He might end up at the Cowboys Ring of Honor in the next 5 or so years, maybe.
Undrafted, though,
Undrafted,
Romo.
It's a big deal.
It's a huge distance.
But Dirk was able to play longer because basketball, you can play longer than Romo. And Romo played for a long time. But Dirk was able to play longer. Dirk won a chip. Romo did not. Went to the playoffs several times. Romo was a quarterback. Romo's very famous. Romo might be more well-known than Dirk, but Dirk had the better career. I think Dak might be more well-known than Luka. But when it's all said and done, I agree with you. Luka.
Okay, since I'm a former Cowboy, which Dallas Maverick you think is the equivalent of me?
You remember Josh Howard?
Man, I got to go. Coming up, I made a big decision.
J.J. Barea, actually.
We're going the wrong way. I like Josh Howard more. We'll tell you what the best sports decision was since the Kings moved to Miami. Next, speak for yourself.
Boban.
Man, you give me 10 days, dude.
Today is the 11-year anniversary of LeBron James's decision to take his talents to Miami to join the Heat in that button down. We all know that resulted in 4 straight finals appearances and 2 title wins, but got us thinking about other big decisions, like why he didn't wear a suit. But Acho, what's the best sports decision since LeBron heading to South Beach?
The best sports decision since LeBron went to South Beach was LeBron going back to Ohio.
Man, you so LeBron'd out, dog.
Be real. Be real. Be real for once. You ain't been real this whole show. Can you be real for 1 second, Sal? LeBron goes, leaves his true love, the kid from Akron. He leaves and he goes to South Beach.
He's still with Savannah. What you doing?
Leaves his true basketball love. Okay. He goes from Cleveland to South Beach. Could not be more polar opposite. I lived in Cleveland for a year. I'm only vacated to South Beach. You go to South Beach, much more attractive city just by city's aesthetics. Now you go to 4 championships, including winning 2. You'd only been to 1 in Cleveland with the likes of Zildrunas, Ilgauskas, and now you're out here with D-Wade. You're out here with Chris Bosh. Out here, Pat Riley running
DJ Irie weekend.
Like, you living life. What? And after all that, you don't forget your first love, and you decide to make a decision to go back to Cleveland, remembering where you came from, remembering your roots. You lose in 2015 to the Warriors. You like, man, you could probably leave again. You're LeBron James. You can do what you want. 2016, you're down 3-1. You could start to think about leaving again. No way you can come back. But then you come back from down 3-1. NBA history, NBA Finals, first time. Cleveland, this is for you. The best decision since LeBron made the decision was his decision to go back to Cleveland.
Hey, you calling me fake? Cleveland, this is for you. Who talks like that?
LeBron.
Who even in celebration talks like they're watching 300? What the hell? That's why Kevin Garnett messed it up too. Anything is possible because they ain't getting fed this to say. They ain't really saying it from the heart. Let me say something from the heart. Oh, because I love the fact that you were in Miami. You said city aesthetics are better. You mean the whole damn city, period. What do you mean aesthetics? To the stilts, that thing is better. Here's the thing. Let's talk about what I want to say best decision in sports. Let me think. I'm juggling right now. Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay is pretty good, right? But then I think about my boy KD, Kevin Durant, baby, joining the juggernaut in the Golden State Warriors, and then telling all them, oh, what size shoe y'all wear? Because they all too small for me. I'm the big dog here. But then I said, nah, man, I'm L.A. to the core. La, 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 la. And I drive through L.A., star-studded, Hollywood signs everywhere. But there's been one young face taking over. And that takeover occurred because of the Chargers' decision to draft one Justin Herbert. Yes, the face of L.A. Yes, the greatest decision that's happened in the next decade plus. We are solidified at the most important position with the best young talent in the game. And he had to fight all the resistance, not just the neighborhoods and traffic, but analysts like Acho, who were like, nah, this is not the guy. I don't know if you should draft him. When you were over the 4 letters, you weren't doing your research. You over there talking about, I wouldn't draft him. I wouldn't get him. And now he's all splashed on billboards looking like the Justin Herbert, the great he is. Bro. That's the greatest decision.
Fox hiring me rivals that decision. Like, literally. Like, Fox hiring that rivals that decision. Okay. Well, talk about a decision that's led to a chip. Talk about it, talk about a decision that's led to something great. You talk about Justin Herbert. Me and Justin Herbert got the same amount of billboards. What? I'm probably making more money than Herbert right now. He's on a rookie deal. Talk about something serious. You said Justin. Oh,
you just picked out
talking about Justin. You talk about a king.
Are you talking about this guy right here? Look at that.
Like, talk about somebody worthwhile who's won something.
What kind of decision is it? Hey, Dwayne Wade is sitting there already won a championship somewhere. Told Chris Bosh to take
He took them from being like a 5th seed to the best
the
team
year before. They're still a championship organization within 4 years.
The Chargers were a losing team last year.
Will you stop? We had injuries last year. Your decision
is terrible.
Wow.
The decision of your decision is terrible.
Do you ever plant seeds and let them blossom, or you just step on them? What's taking you so long? Justin Herbert is building something out here, my brother. Once I take you to horticulture class again, go grab your dirt, shovel, and your hose. We're going out there, and we're going to make sure that we take our time and planning something that's going to be great.
I refuse to say I'm grabbing hose on national television.
Look,
I refuse to say that. I'm grabbing dirt and a shovel.
You know what? You're giving me this example. This is you.
What?
You so in love with your college sweetheart, you can't let go.
She's married.
Which one?
You said like she's married.
Oh, that one?
There's only one.
Okay.
I told you I had a 3.4 GPA. I was focused. Unlike you.
Oh, what
you're in Columbia doing?
Well, I mean, if I went to Texas, I had a 4.3. So I didn't do that. Here's the thing. This is the problem. You think it is since it was first, or he went back to his college sweetheart, Cleveland, where he grew up.
Means something.
It doesn't mean anything because you can still meet the person of your dreams later, like Anna Marie. She wasn't my college sweetheart, and look how great our
You always talk about the exes.
I got to get out of here. This boy's on fire right now. Look, you're the one still in them streets. Coming up, Game 2 of the NBA Finals is tonight. Over there adding up billboards in the streets. We'll tell you if Giannis and the Bucks can tie up the series next. Oh, speak for yourself. Yeah, I got to abort that one.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals is tonight in Phoenix. Chris Paul and the Suns can go up 2-0. Or Giannis Ugo and his squad can even up the series.
There's nothing worse than that.
More zealous.
God.
Who takes Game 2 tonight, Bucks or the Suns?
Oh, it's going to be the Suns. They're going to double up again, as they did in that first game, doubling up every single quarter. Up 4, up 8, up 16, and now they're going to be up 2 games against them. You know the Suns have won 12 of their last 14 games by an average score of 10 points per game? Yeah, I knew that nugget. That means that they're going to win again because the Suns, are a better team. On that thing.
Get your mind off food. Let's talk about these nuggets. I agree with you.
Fat.
It's the Suns. I told you, you've been losing weight. You look good. But it's the Suns. Anyway.
That's it?
That's all I have.
Wow, that's how you're going to end this show, huh?
I thought you look good. But then I'm a compliment. You look good.
Herbert got more billboards than you because of that tape right there. That's it for us. Fox Bet Live is next. You ain't going to get more if you keep taking it like that.